Alright, welcome to the Week 10 review. Just want to make the note that this is the last week that we'll be doing a weekly training like this. Starting next week and throughout the playoffs, we're going to do the topical videos so as we're not featuring any crews that may be up for evaluation for the playoffs. We want to keep it all fair, keep a level playing field. So this will be the last weekly video in this manner. Next week, we'll start with topics each week. So, that being said, let's roll right into this. So, let's watch the tight end right here. He's going to appear to be covered up. Then he's going to go out, catch the pass. So, you got two fouls here. You got an eligible downfield and illegal touching. Because an eligible player, an eligible receiver catching the pass. So this is one of those things we really just got to make sure we keep an eye on. In a crew of 7, this would be the back judge's key. But crew of 6, you kind of have to rely on the wing, because he's going to know whether or not he is on or off the line of scrimmage. I'm just going to take notice if you have a tight end lined up, and especially if he is covered, just kind of make a mental note in your head if you're the wing. Hey, he's a tight end. He's covered up. Let's just see if he goes out for a pass. And maybe even get on the radios too and just say, hey, I got a covered tight end. That way everyone knows. Deeps can help you out. If he catches the pass, then he's not eligible to. So just kind of keep those in mind. These little things, communication, help us out on that a good bit. All right, these next two plays, let's look at coverage on the end line in a crew of 6. Crew of 6 deeps, the end line, it gets hard to cover. I realize that. Crew of 7 obviously makes it easy. Back judges there, but crew of 6, a little bit harder. So let's look at a couple here. First of all, really good job there. Line judge indicating that we have a backward pass. And now we got this. Now we got it. So how we want to cover this, if you're deep and you're on the goal line, once you realize that the goal line is no longer going to be a threat and the play is going to be in the end line, that's when we want to go ahead and move off the goal line. And sometimes it can be hard to make that determination, and we can be a little slow getting back there. But that's what we want to do. Once we realize that the goal line is not going to be a threat, we want to go ahead and go to the end line. And again, it can be hard to determine when to go do it, because you're processing a lot. You got to get to fly the ball. But this one's a little bit easy because he's clearly in bounds. Not really much for us to determine here. Then we get a play like this where it's a lot harder. And we're late breaking here. So probably about, kind of get a feel, maybe peek up. So the receiver's at the goal line, the ball is that high up in the air. It's pretty safe to assume at this point that we are not going to have a play on the goal line. So then the end line would be to come to play. So we probably need to be breaking already to the end line. You see we get a late break, and then we are not in position to make this well. This is a very close play where we are. So you see the shadow right there. Looking in like that, you're not going to be able to see if he gets that toe in. It looks like he doesn't. So, and we're not in a position to make that. We're not in a great position to make that. So any call we make at this point, in or out, is up for debate just because we're out of position. And again, I understand crew of 6. This is hard because we don't have that help on the end line. but there's things we can do to make it a little easy for us. And the one we can do here in a crew of 6 is to recognize a little bit earlier when the play is going to be in the end line and make sure we're moving there. Don't expect you to be right on the end line for plays like this unless that ball is just hanging in the air. Maybe you got a Hail Mary situation and you know the play is going to be in the back of the end zone. But 99% of the time, we're going to be moving off the goal line to the end line. And you got to cover 10 yards in a short amount of time. We're not as fast as we used to be. So it can be difficult, but we need to do what we can to recognize it earlier and get there when we can. Alright, here's a play some of you may have seen that's been making its rounds. And I don't want to get into all the DPI, it was just a foul or what. I wanted to get into the mechanics of this and the importance of kind of staying on the goal line and reverse mechanics. We don't want to be too quick as deeps to move upfield on reverse mechanics. So here we have the ball popped up. It's going to be intercepted, and then he's going to go. So what we want to do here as a deep, you just kind of stay right here on the goal line. This would be both deeps. And let him make his way upfield a good bit. I'd say maybe 10 or 15 yards before we start coming upfield. And this is why, because then if something like this happens, we're on the goal line, ready to officiate. So remember, just the key part here, do not be in too much of a hurry to move upfield. In a crew of 7 especially, same thing. Back judge, you'd want to stay on that end line a little bit longer. And then deep still, we got to let this play out, let them move upfield a good bit. Like I said, maybe 10 or 15 yards before we start to come up. And then it's just like with wings on a regular scrimmage play. You just kind of let the runner get in front of you, and you trail from behind. Same situation here. Alright, here's a weird one. You probably see this once or twice a year. Punt over the punter's head, and he's just going to kick it out of bounds. Out of the back of the end zone. So this is a safety, and this is right. Good call here. But we still want to throw the flag. A lot of times, a lot of officials, they'll just do the safety. They won't actually flag this. And I understand 9.5 times out of 10, the team's going to take the safety. So the flag doesn't matter. But you still want to flag it because they still get the option. You never know. The situation may dictate that they want to, for some reason, they want to take the foul instead of the 2 points. But the situation is, it may benefit them more to take those points. So we always still want to at least throw the flag and get the safety signal, and then they get the option. And with this, they have to decline it to keep the points. This is not a situation where they can tack on to the ensuing free kick. So it's either decline it, keep the 2 points, or take the penalty and repeat. So those are their options on that one. They cannot tack this on to the ensuing free kick. So I just want to clarify the penalty enforcement on this. So you can have 2 types of illegal kicking on this particular play. In this specific play, the foul occurred in the end zone. So that's where the illegal kick happens. So this is going to be a safety either way. If they accept the penalty or not, you're going to have a safety because foul by the offense behind the basic spot being forced from the spot. If it's a loose ball play, which this is. So, foul by the offense in the end zone, forced from the end zone, that's safety. So, this play is either way. You're going to have safety. But if he were to kick it, say from the 1, let's say he kicks it right there. I was at the 1. Then the forcing spot's the 1 yard line. So, at that point, they have the option. You can go and force it from the 1, or they get the safety. Again, 9.5 times out of 10, they're going to take the safety. But they do have that option, and that would be in case they go with the penalty option. so we know and we're clear what the options are. So if they're in the end zone, they kick it out back in the end zone. It's going to be a safety either way. You still flag it though, because technically they have the option. So you still flag it, and if it's kicked from in the field of play out of the back of the end zone, that's when they have the sportsman to spot the foul. There's a 5-yard penalty, or maybe it's 10 yards. It's 10. Batting and kicking are both 10 yards. So illegal kicking 10 yards from the spot of the foul, which would be in the field of play if they do it before they get to the end zone, or they kick at the back of the end zone from the end zone. It's a safety either way. So you're going to flag it either way, even if 9.5 times out of 10 they're going to take the points. Just want to clarify that. Alright, last one. So watch when they shift here. And this comes up every once in a while, but when a team shifts like this, they can't do it so drastically. No, it can't be done in a manner to where it kind of simulates the snap. So you see how the quarterback's going to clap his hands, and see how especially number 54 and number 72, how their movement is so quick. Well, maybe not 70, but watch 54 on the left. That movement right there, that's simulating a snap. So if they're going to shift, it has to be deliberate. It cannot be like that. And that's the reason why, because you're going to jump off like that. So if they have a quick movement like that, that's almost simulating the snap, then that's a false start. It is not encroachment. When they shift like that, it has to be deliberate. Alright, that's it for this week. A little bit shorter because we published some Crew of 7 mechanic videos we want you guys to be in and be looking at as we move into, we're just kind of start heading into the playoffs. So really kind of look at those. Then we made public the camp videos. There's a really good holding video. There's a video on sportsmanship, legal formation. So kind of look at all those. Especially that holding. The holding one is really good. So make sure you're watching that. But other than that, good luck, guys. If you're in the playoff hunt, the evaluations start this week. So guys, stay focused, work hard, and everyone stay safe.